When it comes to zombie films, there's one name for a director that you always associate with zombie films, all the way back from 1960s and 70s all the way up to now. His name is George A. Romero, one of the greatest zombie directors that has ever lived and will ever be. He's literally done every single one of the the original of the Dead films that was made. So, everything from Night of the Living Dead all the way to the latest Diary of the Dead that he has done, they're all his. The remakes, now he will have approved them, but he won't have had anything to do with them. So I've decided that I'm ashamed to say that I only own 2 George A. Romero zombie films, for the fact that he's probably the greatest zombie director that there will ever be. So I thought I would start off by reviewing the classic, the film that started it all off, the original Night of the Living Dead. Now it's based in a graveyard. It's quite messed up for considering what period this film's from. I mean, zombie films are becoming more acceptable nowadays due to the Resident Evils and all the different remakes, Shaun of the Dead, Zombieland, and like Diary of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. It's becoming more acceptable. However, this was really controversial at the time. It was one of the, I believe it was like midnight film showings because they couldn't show it any other time. It's based in a graveyard. It's a man and a woman. They go to see a family member. The man gets bitten and they don't know what's happening. He ends up turning into a zombie and the woman goes to this house and says very little. Now, the film's actually in black and white, which shows how old it is. I don't know whether or not there is a colour version of it, but there isn't on this version. The ending is quite shocking, really. Even now, it would be considered shocking. Basically, what happens is all the zombies have been fought off because it's based in a farmyard after the graveyard, and there's only one person left, and he ends up getting shot through the head by the army because they think he's a zombie. Now, that would be extremely that'd be controversial when it was out. That would be mega for people. They wouldn't know what was happening. They'd be shocked. The zombies in this are quite slow, silly looking, and not very scary at all. But you would expect that. Every type of thing has got to have a beginning. Whether it's vampires, werewolves, zombies, everything has got to have a beginning. So it's nice to see a good start for a zombie film. Which it can be taken seriously by people, but only like the die-hard zombie fans. So I'd have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Very iconic film. If you've not seen it and you're not really a fan of zombie films, watch it because it's not like the zombie films of today. It's something classic. It's probably one of the greatest zombie films that's ever been made, and it'll stand out for the rest of time. Perhaps not as iconic as the original Dawn of the Dead, but still extremely iconic.